Have you ever looked at your phone, waiting, and wondering, why isn't she texting me back? You were sweet. You were kind. You gave her all your attention. You even thought, I'm doing everything right. But suddenly, she becomes cold. She seems bored. She starts acting like you're just another guy. And your heart, it drops. Why does that happen? Why does giving her everything make her feel nothing? Let's slow it down, brother, because this truth will sting a little, but it will also set you free. You see, most men are taught to give more to get love. We grow up hearing stuff like, make her feel like a queen, treat her like she's one in a million, give her all your time and energy. But here's the problem. When you treat someone like they're the prize before they've earned it, you give away your power without even noticing. And women, they feel it. Even if they don't say it, they sense when you are trying too hard. They can feel when your attention is too much, too soon. They get confused, even annoyed. Why? Because the chase is already over, and they didn't even get to start it. Imagine this. You meet a girl. She's pretty. She laughs. She's fun. You like her a lot. So what do? You text her all day. You compliment her every chance you get. You cancel plans with your friends just to talk to her. You start thinking about her more than your goals, more than your peace, more than yourself. It feels good at first, right? But deep down, something shifts. The more you give, the more she pulls away. Now you feel confused. You wonder, wasn't I being nice? Wasn't I showing her that she's special? Yeah, you were. But here's the truth nobody told you. She doesn't want to feel like you're everything. She wants to feel like she's earning a place in your world. Let that sink in. When you treat a woman like she's already won your heart too fast, she doesn't feel excited. She feels pressure. She feels like she's already figured you out. And what happens when people feel like they already know everything about a person? They lose interest. Fast. So how do you fix this? By not making her your world. By not making her feel like she's too special before she's earned that place. It's not about being mean. It's not about being rude. It's about being a man with standards, a man with direction, a man with quiet strength. That means you don't rush, you don't chase, you don't prove. You exist in your own life and let her be curious about it. Because that curiosity, that wondering, that why doesn't he need me like the others? That's what hooks her thoughts. That's how you become a thought loop in her mind. So here's the truth you must remember. When you stop trying to make her feel special, she starts trying to earn your attention. She starts to lean in. She starts to watch you. She starts to wonder, what is it about him that makes him so calm, so sure, so rare? And just like that, she starts to feel something real. Not because you gave her everything, but because you made her feel like she had to earn you. Now the question is, do you want to keep giving away your power? Or Are you ready to become the kind of man she can't stop thinking about? The hidden power of not always being there. What if the real secret wasn't in what you say to her, but in what you don't do? What if not calling her, not always being around, not explaining yourself all the time, was exactly what made her heart race? Sounds strange, right? But here's the twist. Your absence creates space for her desire. Let's break it down, simple and clear. When a guy is always there, when he's always replying fast, when he's always free to hang out, she doesn't have time to miss him. There's no mystery, no spark, no reason to think about him when he's not around, because he's always around. And just like that, she stops wondering. She stops feeling excited. And the worst part, she stops valuing your time. But now, think about this. You're a man with a mission. You've got stuff to do. You don't always have time to reply in 1 second. You don't drop everything just because she called. You're busy growing. You're busy building. You're not ignoring her. You're just in your own world. And suddenly, she notices something. Why isn't he texting like the others? Why do I feel a little nervous waiting? Why am I checking my phone more than usual? She starts to chase that feeling, that excitement, that curiosity, because you've created something powerful. Space. Space makes her miss you. Space makes her wonder about you. And most of all, space makes her respect you. Not because you're trying to play a game, not because you're being cold, but because you have a life that doesn't revolve around her. That's the kind of man women admire. That's the kind of man they feel drawn to. Not because he tries too hard, but because he's already complete. Now let's make something clear. This isn't about disappearing. It's not about ghosting. It's not about being rude or ignoring her feelings. It's about balance. It's about not being too easy. It's about letting her come to you sometimes. And when she does, it'll feel real. It'll feel earned. It'll feel special. Because now, she doesn't just get your time. She has to earn it. You are not a guy who's always available. You are not a man who gives time just to feel liked. You are a man who protects his energy, his goals, and his peace. And when a woman sees that, she doesn't run away. She leans in, because the more she feels like she can't just grab your attention, the more she wants it. Why she'll never respect a man who chases too much. What if every time you tried harder, you were actually pushing her further away? What if giving more actually made her want less? Sounds crazy, right? But here's what no one tells you. Chasing her destroys her desire. Let's talk about something most guys don't want to hear. When a man chases a woman too much, when he keeps texting, calling, proving, begging, he's not showing strength. He's showing fear. He's scared she'll lose interest. He's scared she'll talk to someone else. He's scared he's not enough just by being himself. And that fear, women can feel it, not with words, not with logic, but deep down, they just know. They sense when a man is chasing from a place of weakness. And that weakness, it turns off her feelings. You might be thinking, but I'm being nice. I'm showing effort. Isn't that what she wants? Number. She doesn't want to feel like the prize while you beg to be picked. She wants to feel like you are the prize. And she's lucky to even be part of your life. Here's the truth. No one teaches young men. When you stop chasing her and start chasing your own purpose, she starts to notice you. You're no longer trying to impress her. You're impressing yourself. You're building your body. You're building your business. You're reading, growing, moving forward. And now, you've become a different man. A man with gravity. A man who pulls, not a man who pushes. She doesn't want to be chased like a queen. She wants to feel drawn to a king. And kings don't run after people. They sit in their power. They let the world come to them. And guess what? This doesn't mean being mean. It doesn't mean acting cold. It means being centered and focused on your path. You don't text her all day. That's okay. You don't cancel plans to hang with her. That's powerful. You don't give her attention every second. That's attractive, because she sees you have something more important, your own life. Let her wonder. Let her feel confused sometimes. Let her ask herself, why isn't he trying harder? That moment of confusion, that's where the magic begins, because it flips the story in her head. Now she's the one thinking about you. She's the one chasing. She's the one feeling the pull. Kiss teeth. The secret power of being unavailable without saying a word. What if your silence could speak louder than any words? What if disappearing a little made her heart beat faster? What if doing less made her feel more? Let me tell you something strange. It's not what you say that makes her miss you. It's what you don't do. You don't have to send long messages. You don't have to always be there. You don't have to explain yourself. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just go quiet. Not in anger, not to be rude, but because you are simply busy building your life. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how people want what they can't easily have? It's the same with her. When you're always around, she knows you'll always be there. But when you become unavailable sometimes, not as a trick, but because you're focused on your goals, she starts to wonder, where is he? What's he doing? Why hasn't he messaged me yet? And just like that, you've entered her mind. It's not about playing games. It's about having something important to do with your time. You're not just waiting by your phone. You're not canceling plans just because she's free. You're choosing yourself first. And that choice, it shows her you have value, because your time is rare. And rare things are always more wanted. Let me give you a picture in your mind. Imagine two rooms. One room is wide open, bright lights, music playing. Everyone's invited. The other room? It's quiet. It's private. Only a few people get in. Which room feels special? Which room would people talk about more? It's always the one that's harder to enter. The same goes for your presence. When she knows not everyone gets your time, she values it 10 times more. She starts thinking, why is he not texting me? Is he with someone? Is he over me? Should I reach out first? Now she's doing the chasing. Now you are the mystery. Now you are the thought loop in her head. Here's what you need to know. Your absence creates desire. Your silence creates curiosity. Your life creates power. So don't try to prove yourself with words. Let your calm silence do the work. The man who is always available, he becomes background noise. But the man who disappears with purpose, he becomes a song stuck in her head. Why making her feel uncertain makes you irresistible? What if not giving her all the answers made her feel more pulled to you? What if her confusion was the reason she couldn't stop thinking about you? Let's dive into something powerful. Uncertainty. That feeling when she doesn't fully know what's going on. It's not about being mean. It's not about lying. It's about not giving everything away. When she feels like she can figure you out in one day, her mind stops working. There's no mystery, no chase, no spark. But when you stay calm, when you don't always explain what you're thinking, when you do your own thing, she starts to wonder, why didn't he tell me what he's doing today? Is he upset or just busy? Does he like me or is he just unbothered? And that little confusion, that moment where she doesn't know, it makes her mind go crazy. She keeps playing scenes in her head. She keeps thinking about you over and over and over. Let me tell you a secret. The brain loves puzzles. When something feels complete, we move on. But when something feels unfinished, we can't stop thinking about it. So when you are not always predictable, when you don't always answer the same way or respond right away, you become a puzzle. A fun, exciting, emotional puzzle. That's how you get inside her head. Without saying too much. Most guys think, if I give her full attention, full time, all my thoughts, she'll like me. But that's the fastest way to get ignored. Why? Because you're giving her everything too fast, and she doesn't even have to earn it. But the man who is unpredictable, the one who is kind, but not too easy to read, she respects him more. She works harder to understand him. She starts thinking, who is this guy? Why does he feel different from the rest? That's the moment. You become the thought loop in her brain. This isn't about hurting her. It's about not being so easy. It's about keeping some things to yourself. It's about having your own life, your own goals, and your own peace. Because that's what makes you powerful. And that's what makes you unforgettable. So ask yourself, Are you giving her too much clarity? Or are you letting her mind wander and pull her deeper into your world? Want to discover what really makes a woman feel your presence, even when you're not around? How silence becomes the loudest message she can't ignore. What if saying nothing at all was louder than any "I miss you"? What if your silence spoke straight to her heart? Let's talk about something most men ignore, but high-value men understand completely. Silence. Yes, that quiet moment, that space, that gap. It's not cold, it's not rude, it's powerful. You see, most guys rush to fill every silence. They send a text right away. They double message. They explain themselves over and over. They try to fix everything with words. But the man who doesn't rush, who allows silence to happen, who isn't afraid of the quiet, he becomes mysterious. He becomes different. He becomes the one she can't figure out. Here's the truth. When you go silent, her mind gets louder. She starts thinking about you. Why isn't he texting? Is he upset? Or is he just busy? Did I lose his attention? Now pause. That thought right there, that's where desire begins. Because the space you leave gives her room to miss you. And this silence isn't a game. You're not ignoring her. You're just not chasing. You're choosing your peace. You're allowing distance to grow something real. It gives her time to reflect. It gives her time to feel. You're not trying to be cold. You're just showing, I don't need to force anything. And women feel that energy. They feel the calm. They feel the confidence. They feel the difference. When you don't always respond quickly, when you aren't always available, your silence becomes a message. It says, I'm not desperate. I have a life. I'm at peace, even without attention. And guess what? That peace, that quiet strength, it makes her think about you even more. The calm that makes her nervous in a good way. Have you ever seen a man so calm that people stop talking just to watch him? Now imagine what a woman feels when you're that calm, even when things get messy. She doesn't know what you're thinking. She doesn't know if she made you upset. She doesn't know if you care or if you're just different. That mystery, that stillness, it makes her heart beat faster. Most guys react too fast. They argue, they defend, they explain, they try to control everything with noise. But not you. You're the man who stays calm, even when she pulls away, even when she tests you, even when things feel uncertain. You don't panic, you don't beg, you don't break down. You breathe, you think, you keep your peace. And guess what? That calmness makes her wonder. She starts to ask herself, why isn't he freaking out? Why isn't he trying to fix this right now? Is he that sure of himself? Yes, you are. Because calm men don't need to chase. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to fight to be seen. Their presence already speaks loud enough. Here's the truth. When you're calm, you're in control. Not of her, not of the situation, but of yourself. And that's what women really want. They want a man who can handle pressure, who can stay steady in a storm, who doesn't explode or fall apart. Because that calmness, it feels like safety. It feels like power. It feels like masculine energy she can trust. So next time she tries to push your buttons, don't jump, don't fold, don't speak too fast. Just hold your ground, stand tall, and stay quiet if you need to. Let your calm do the talking. Because when you stay calm, she'll feel everything more deeply. She'll feel you more deeply. And now, here's the twist. What if your purpose was even more powerful than your calm? On the next stage, I'll show you how purpose makes her want to follow your lead, even when you're not looking at her. Why purpose makes you magnetic, even when you're gone. Have you ever seen a man walk into a room and without saying a word, everyone turns to look at him? It's not his clothes, it's not his looks, it's not even his money. It's something deeper. It's his purpose. A man with purpose walks differently. He talks with strength. He moves with meaning, because he's not just living, he's building, he's creating, he's going somewhere. And that drives women crazy, not because he's trying to impress them, but because he's not trying at all. He's too busy growing, too busy making an impact, too busy living a life that matters. And suddenly, she wants to be part of that life. You see, women don't fall in love with just your face or your voice. They fall in love with your mission. They want to feel like they're stepping into something bigger, not dragging you out of your bed, not pulling you off the couch, not begging you to do more with your life. They want to join your story, not become your only reason for waking up. But here's the secret most men don't know. When you put your purpose first, you don't have to say much. You just do. You just move. You just become. And that movement, that passion, that drive, it's more attractive than any smooth words, because she sees that you're different. She feels that you're not trying to get her. You're trying to become someone. And this is why absence becomes so powerful. When you're gone for a bit, working, creating, training, she misses you. But it's not just your voice or touch she misses. It's the feeling of your direction, the energy of your journey, the pull of your ambition. That feeling sticks in her mind, like a thought she can't shake. So here's the real deal. If you want to make her crave you without chasing, get back to your path. Make your life so full, so focused, so rich in purpose, that she sees you as a man she'd be lucky to follow. Oh. The power of calm. Why being steady makes her want more. Have you noticed how the calmest person in a room grabs the most attention? No shouting, no rushing, just steady, quiet power. Why does that happen? It's because calmness shows control. When you stay calm, even when things get wild or confusing, you show strength. You're not a roller coaster of feelings that she has to guess or chase after. You're steady, like a rock, solid, safe. Women are drawn to men who don't freak out or get upset easily. Because life is messy, feelings fly everywhere. But when a man keeps his cool, he shows he's in charge of himself first. This calmness creates something magical. It makes you unpredictable in the best way. She never knows exactly what mood you'll be in, but she knows it won't be a meltdown or drama. That mystery makes her curious. It makes her want to understand you better and get closer. And here's the important truth. Calmness doesn't mean hiding your feelings or being fake. It means knowing your emotions, feeling them deeply, but choosing when and how to express them. You don't explode. You don't retreat. You stay balanced and clear. That kind of emotional control, it's rare. It's powerful. It's a huge part of your real aura. Your silent strength that pulls her in. Imagine being that guy. The one who doesn't panic when things get tough. The one who makes her feel safe, even if the world outside is chaotic. She'll start thinking about you when you're not around. Wondering how you stay so cool. Wondering how she can be part of that calm world you create. On the final stage, I'll show you how to build true confidence that comes from inside. Not from things, not from words, but from knowing who you are. The hidden confidence that makes you irresistible. What if I told you the kind of confidence that truly pulls her in doesn't come from fancy clothes, cars, or even words? It comes from something much deeper, and almost nobody talks about it. Real confidence isn't loud or flashy. It's quiet. It's steady. It comes from knowing you can handle life no matter what happens. Think about a man who's faced hard things and still stands tall. He doesn't need to brag or prove himself. He just knows he's enough. This confidence grows from doing things well, from becoming good at what you care about. It's about being proud of your skills and your choices, not just the stuff you own. When you trust yourself, you don't need constant approval. You don't get shook by drama or drama queens. You're free. And guess what? Women feel this. They sense when a man truly believes in himself. Deep down, it's magnetic. Like a quiet power that pulls them closer without effort. This kind of confidence also means you don't put her on a pedestal. You don't treat her like the only thing that matters in your life. Instead, she becomes a part of your amazing, busy, meaningful world. That's what makes her want you more. Because you're not chasing or begging for her attention. You're living your life fully, and she wants to be there. Now you know. Detachment, calmness, self-worth, and real confidence are the secret steps to becoming a man who's unforgettable. A man who's always on her mind. So what will you do now? Keep chasing the usual advice, or start living your life on your own terms and watch how everything changes. Your choice.